Welcome, folks, to another episode of our Mass Effect Legendary series. I hope you are all well. We will be picking up where we left off last time. If you do recall, we went and saved Dr. Liara Tassoni on the planet Therum, which would have been our first of our main objectives that we had to complete. And then just shortly before we ended the stream, we had completed we had done the missing brother side objective, where we found the derelict ship with the planet we could land on next to it, and then we found that the brother of Gareth was his name, had been murdered by a mercenary band. Today we'll be taking it rather slow. We're not going to be getting to any of the main objective. We're going to be doing primarily side quests, though those are fun nonetheless. I'll quickly skip through that because I just recently completed Mass Effect 1 on my off-stream playthrough. I think a couple hours ago, actually, just before getting this stream set up today. So that was quite fun. Alright, so we'll quickly check our squad menu and see how many skill points we have to work with today. We have 8 of them. Alright, we'll quickly assign some of these. Let's see here. We'll increase our Spectre training by 3, our Vanguard by 2, and our Tactical Armor by 2, so we can now equip Medium Armor, which is nice aesthetically, to be quite honest with you. And we'll hold on to this last point. And we'll quickly look at our journal here. So we have Noveria and Pharos, which again we'll not be getting to today. And we've, of course, started these little collection side quests of the Turian emblems and the minerals and League medallions, Larian IDs, Prothean artifacts. And I don't think we've started the other one, which is Matriarch writings. Okay, but today we have a handful of side quests to do. We will be starting off with, let's see here, fanatical biotics in the Hades Gamma Cluster have kidnapped the chairman of Parliament Subcommittee on Transhuman Studies and are holed up in a derelict freighter in the Farinata system. So we need to go to the Farinata system of the Hades Gamma Cluster. So we'll be starting with that today, and then we'll be going on to doing whichever we can get to, the missing privateers. Sorry, the missing survey team, the privateers. Privateers we already did, so we have to talk to Gareth. And then strange transmission and unusual readings. Alright. That's a quick little overview. Let us get to our star map here. We're currently in the Horsehead Nebula here next to Noveria. Alright, here we go. So we are looking for the Hades Gamma Cluster, which is right here. And we want the Farinata system, which is back here. Love the sound of the mass relay.
Message from Alliance Command coming in. I'll patch it through.
Shepard, this is Admiral Hackett from Alliance Command. We've got a situation here, and you're the only one that can handle it.
I love this quest.
What do you need, Admiral?
There's an Alliance training ground where we test weapons and technology in live-fire simulations. One of the VIs we use to simulate enemy tactics in the drills is no longer responding to our override commands. It's gone rogue.
Are you telling me this computer is thinking on its own?
We're not stupid, Shepard. This is a virtual intelligence, not a true AI. It's not self-aware, and it can't access any external systems. We didn't do anything illegal here. Virtual intelligence support is critical to our military success. VIs process thousands of status reports and react in nanoseconds. No human can do that. We need you to fight your way through the training ground to the VI core and manually disable it.
Can't you disable it remotely?
Our fail-safes aren't responding. The VI operates on a closed network. It can affect any external systems, but we don't have any direct access to its processes. We could bomb it from orbit, but the damage to the facility would be catastrophic. We'd prefer to have someone shut down the core. Someone like you. I know Spectres answer the Council, but you're still human. You're still part of the Alliance military, and right now we need you. The VI controls all the facility's weapons, drones, and automated defenses. You're the only one that can pull this off, Shepard. Good luck.
I love the idea of the Human Systems Alliance bombing the surface of the moon because of a rogue VI. However, we won't let that happen because we will, of course, save the day. That is actually a quest that I quite enjoy, that we will hopefully get to today, because it has quite the boon at the end of it. But before that, we are going to look through this asteroid belt and see if we can find anything. We found a rocky asteroid. This large asteroid has several smaller bodies orbiting it. Light metal surveyed. While scanning this asteroid field, you detected a large deposit of magnesium. Alright, good for us. And I think that's everything in this belt. We'll check the other one here. And of course, you can see the MSB Ontario, which is where we're going to be going, but we'll take a quick look at the planets first. Tunchagon is a hydrogen-helium gas giant with traces of chlorine and nitrogen in its atmosphere. It has an unusually small number of moons for a gas giant, a mere 7. This is no doubt due to the star Farinata capturing the majority of the mass during the nebular collapse that created the system. Got ourselves a gas giant. Duntauma is a small, broiling terrestrial world. Its thin atmosphere of carbon dioxide and ethane is being steadily blown off by the powerful solar wind from the star Farinata. The surface is scorching hot, and mainly composed of sulfur with deposits of copper. Its density is low enough to leave the world tidally locked to Farinata. The Alliance Defense Data Network notes that several ships have been spotted cruising near Juntama with transponders turned off. While an Alliance patrol attempted pursuit of one, the unidentified vessel rabbited to FTL. Its trail was lost when it obscured its light trace in the confusion of signals along the Anasi Ishtar shipping lane. Survey. Prothean data disk recovered. Scans of Jotama revealed a derelict freighter in mid-stage orbital decay. Your salvage team boarded the vessel and determined it had been attacked by raiders. There was a little of value on board, but the team did find a Prothean data disk. Got ourselves another Prothean data disk. Nepnu. With a rare combination of features, Nepnu is of particular interest to the scientific community. Nepnu is a small terrestrial planet with a thin atmosphere of carbon dioxide and krypton. As with all the worlds of Farinata, its surface is scorching hot. The crust mainly consists of silicates laced with iron. We'll survey. We found a rare element, a deposit of thorium on a nearby moon. And that should be all of our planets in this system. We should be safe to board the MSV Ontario. The Ontario is a Kowloon-class modular conveyor of human design, configured for mixed freight passenger hauling. It is making a hard burn for the cover of an asteroid cluster. Interesting. So we're gonna board this ship. I enjoy bringing Caden Alenko onto this mission. It's an early mission, so you know, you can kind of bring whoever you want, really, to get to know them. But I particularly like bringing Caden Alenko because he himself is a human biotic, and we are dealing with human biotic extremists. So we'll bring Caden, and let's bring Liara. So before we get started, we'll quickly check our squad screen and see who has some skill points that we can assign. 19 points for this guy. Alright, we'll max out Sentinel. And we already have a max electronics and decryption on him, which is nice. But we'll get ourselves Lift, because Lift is quite a fun little ability. And then we'll also dump some points into Barrier. And first aid we'll start working on so we can unlock Neural Shock, which is also a nice little ability that we can use. On to Liara. How many points do we have to spend here? We've got 7. Okay. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Singularity and electronics will do it for them. Alright. I debated not including like the skill tree stuff on stream. However, it seemed it's a big enough part of Mass Effect, and there's different ways to build different characters that it's worth showing and talking about at the very least. So here we are going to make a new save, so we don't lose any progress. We've got some enemies here. Make sure everyone's got their weapons equipped. Now I do need to switch my brain modes because I was playing as an infiltrator in my off-stream playthrough, whereas this is a vanguard. So I do not have the abilities that I'm used to having, but I do have abilities I know how to use. We'll quickly disable this guy so we don't get hurt while we're disabled here. The ragdoll effects do take quite some time when you're playing Mass Effect 1. Alright, let's get our shotgun. Shield back up. And heal. Let's see, we'll warp this guy. Warping is neat because it allows... Oh god. Gotta remember that I'm on Insanity difficulty and that this is no walk in the park. Let's see here. Alright. Back at it. What was I saying? Warp allows for more damage accumulation on an enemy, so they're more susceptible to damage because their armor is weakened. I'm about to use Sabotage now, and Sabotage actually overheats their weapons so that you will not, oh gosh, you will not be suffering from too much weapon damage. Alright, let's get our shields back. Let's remember how to play this game. Alright, got one down. We'll use a singularity here, I think, and a warp. See what we can get done. Alright, cool. That guy's down. We should have one more right around the corner here.
Go, go, go!
Overload will take care of the shields. Alright, cool. And that's only a minute. Only took us a minute for that, okay. All targets are down, apparently, according to Caden. We got a minute and 40 seconds. Let's loot this ship before we do anything else. Let's see. Oh, there we go. I do like the layout of these ships, even though they are a bit repetitious in the first Mass Effect game. Like, you'll see this ship layout quite a few times. I do like how the floor and the ceiling are both built with glass, so you can actually see the stars below you. It's really nice. Let's quickly save here. And let's go in.
See how it is? You write letters and everyone ignores you. Force is the only thing people appreciate. So how about if I kill Chairman Burns and finish this charade?
Please, I was trying to help you people.
Let's not do anything we're all gonna regret.
Why not? What have we got to lose? Since the chairman here decided that we didn't get reparations, we've got nothing left to live for.
But I've changed my mind. Seeing you all, it's clear that you all deserve...
You had your chance. Some L2s are nearly crippled from side effects of the implants, but you voted against reparations.
So we're gonna be leaning more into one or the other, like Paragon or Renegade in Mass Effect 1. I know in a previous stream I mentioned not needing to so much in the remaster or the Legendary Edition, but after playing and finishing the game, it doesn't seem to be the case where they've made it easier to achieve both. They've really kind of, or sorry, both easily. They've really seemed to it stayed true to the original design of Mass Effect 1, so you still need to kind of really choose the Paragon routes to get the Paragon points to, and so on and so forth. But it seems like Mass Effect 2 is kind of making that a little easier, so the harder to achieve Paragon and Renegade options are easier to achieve in that game. In this game, it's still a bit dependent on your Charm and Intimidate skill trees, which we kind of ran into a bit of an issue with in an earlier stream. But with all that said, we're basically going to be leaning a little more into the Paragon route, so we'll say you need Burns instead of you don't be stupid.
Think about this. Burns is the one man who can help you.
Yes, if you release me, I can take another look at the reparations request.
What? We're supposed to trust you?
I'm an L2 like you. Trust me. The commander can make sure that Burns follows through.
Sure, you promise us freedom and say everything will be fine, but as soon as we surrender, you'll double-cross us.
And that's kind of why I like taking Caden on. He, has some input that's relevant.
I'm not promising to let you go. All I'm saying is that Burns will take another look. Right, Burns?
Absolutely. I had no idea that the L2 biotics were this desperate. If I'd known, the reparations will come. For whatever it's worth. I promise that.
You're right. I don't want to die. Maybe something will happen this time. We surrender.
Thank you, Commander. I thought I was dead when they took me. I'll see to it that the reparations discussion is reopened. I didn't know they were so desperate.
Those are some high cheekbones, my friend. No, you didn't. Just doing my job.
Will be by shortly to pick you and the prisoners up.
Plus 8 Paragon points.
Thank you, Commander. I thought I was dead when they took me.
You're welcome. And we already looted the ship, so we can just leave and head back for the Normandy. Sometimes when you go back through a ship like this, especially when there was combat, you'll find lootable containers that you might have overlooked. Though I don't see any this time. Mind you, I didn't give it a super thorough look over, but that's okay. We're going to leave anyways. Let's run to the exit. And we've got one side quest done, just like that. We'll quickly look at the journal. So we have the new quest, Rogue VI. But we do have a couple other missions, and I just want to check that none of them are in the system we're currently in. Hawking Ada, Argos Row, Hades Gamma, right there. So travel to the Antia system in the Hades Gamma cluster to look for the missing survey team. So what we're going to do now, we're going to go to the next system over, to the Antia system. And then once we've cleared what's here currently in the Hades Gamma cluster, we're going to go and do the UNC Rogue VI mission here on Earth's moon. So we'll be going to the local cluster.
Message coming in.
And
Patching it through.
oh,
Thank you for dealing with the hostage situation, Commander. Chairman Burns was quite impressed by the way you resolved the situation peacefully. Your assistance above and beyond the formal duties has been noted, Commander. Fifth Fleet out.
thank you, Admiral Hackett. We're going to leave the MSP Ontario here and go to the next system over. I love the Hades Gamma cluster. It looks like an eye, honestly, like the inside of, if you, like, you can probably Google an image if you want, but the colors of the eye, when you zoom in with a microscope, it just looks really neat, and this is reminiscent of that. Alright, over to the Antia system. Let's see, what planets do we have here? I think that's the one we land on, so we'll quickly look at the rest of the system here. Vamal is Vamal is an enormous terrestrial world of mixed rock and ice with an atmosphere of methane and ethane. Its frozen surface is mainly composed of calcium with deposits of iron. Because of noxious surface gases, explorers are warned to use extreme caution. And we're going to survey. We found a rare element, a large deposit of uranium. A gecko. During the initial survey of the Antaeus system, only a single flyby probe was spared for the small scorched world of a gecko. It revealed a planet unusually rich in heavier elements, given its size. A gecko is a standard terrestrial with a thin atmosphere of krypton and xenon. Its crust is mainly composed of magnesium with deposits of cobalt and other heavy metals. Due to extremely rough, cratered terrain, starships are discouraged from landing. Interesting. Over to Ploba now. Ploba is the second and by far the largest of Antaeus' 2 gas giants. Active scans by survey ships have returned tantalizing indications of mass, solid structures deep within the atmosphere, too regular in pattern to be anything natural. Some believe Ploba is a Jupiter brain, a planet-sized supercomputer. Adherents of this theory have fruitlessly beamed signals toward the sunken megastructures, hoping to get the machine's attention. Others believe that an ancient spacefaring race disposed of their weapons of war by dumping them into the planet. The last attempt to reach and salvage Ploba's deep anomalies went tragically wrong and ended with a crew of 12 being trapped and crushed in the gas giant's lower atmosphere. Love the idea of a Jupiter brain supercomputer planet. That's really cool. We're going to survey Ploba, and we found Matriarch's writings recovered. You recovered a strange object orbiting Ploba. Chief Engineer Adams and Tally tried unsuccessfully to determine its origin. They did find one of Matriarch Dilingya's writings stored within. Dilinaga's, I think, is what her name was. Matriarch Dilinaga? I don't know. Hunidor is a moderately sized ice world with an extremely thin atmosphere composed of krypton and xenon. Its frozen surface is unusually smooth, suggesting widespread repaving by cryovolcanic processes, though no such activity is currently evident. Cryovolcanic processes. The idea of a ice volcano would be crazy. Edmos is a standard hydrogen-helium gas giant with traces of methane in its atmosphere. If Trebin's terraforming is successful, it is expected that a helium-3 fuel refining facility for the system will be set up here. We found a gas deposit, so a large concentration of hydrogen. Cool. Got some hydrogen from Edmos. And I think that brings us to Trebin. Trebin is a modest terrestrial world with an atmosphere composed of nitrogen and argon. Its surface is mainly composed of nickel with deposits of silver. Trebin's environment is relatively mild, but with the scarcity of water or similar enabling substances has prevented the development of any biosphere. Exogeny Corps recently performed a test impact of a single water-ice comet into the surface, the first step of a long-term plan to thicken the atmosphere and introduce water to the environment. A survey team is on the surface, monitoring the geological and meteorological effects of the test impact. Most of the water released is still in the form of atmospheric vapor, but thick cloud banks have formed. There is every indication that this arid world will soon see its first rain. The survey team's progress has been hampered by frequent mechanical and computer failures in their GPS satellites. Cool, so we have a really early proto-terrestrial planet that is in the process of being terraformed. Hence all the cloudy, gray skybox in the picture you can see there. Who will we take? I think we'll bring along our buddy Garrus. And this time we'll bring, or not Rex, for some survivability, because we are a bit early in the game. I think we're still sub-level 10. I'll have to check on that one. I think we're level 8 or 9 at this point. In the legendary leveling system, of course. If this were the old school, we'd be almost level 20, I think. Of course, we're going to save before doing anything else, even though it auto-saves. I like having a manual save. And then we are going to go and look at Garrus and Rex's squad screen to see how many skill points we have to spend. So we have 3 with Garrus. We will upgrade decryption, so now I have master decryption and master electronics, so we can be safe to be able to unlock anything on the planet's surfaces. And I think that's all of our points there. And now we are on to Rex. Let's see how many points. 11. Alright, so we'll give Krogan Battlemaster a point. We'll go into Warp, so Warp unlocks Throw, so now he can use Throw, and we'll upgrade that a bit. We'll get Combat Armor not max, but up 1, and then we'll dump the rest into Fitness, so Rex has Advanced Immunity and higher health. And then there we go, we'll even out shotguns with assault rifles. And let's check our map here. So we've got Anomaly and Debris on the left. We've got our research base in the middle and another Anomaly on the right. Alright, let's go to the right here. Check out our first Anomaly. Here we are back in the Mako. We will be playing in the Mako quite a bit. Now, I had a thought, actually, while playing off-stream with regard to the actual gameplay that is going on right now. And it's occurred to me, I guess, in a post-Breath of the Wild world, where a conversation that cropped up with Breath of the Wild was the climbable surfaces in that game, where Link could virtually climb any surface, be it a house, a rock, a mountain. You know, it was just it was stamina management, and that kind of became a little metagame in the actual game of Breath of the Wild, where, you know, it wasn't a climbing game, but you, oh god, we have a Thresher Maw, of course we do. Why wouldn't we? Alright, well, let me talk about Breath of the Wild while I destroy a Thresher Maw, I guess. Anyways, the kind of gameplay that is going on with the Mako, I find very similar to the kind of gameplay of the climbing mechanic in Breath of the Wild, where it's just a part of the greater whole, and it fills its own purpose. Like, when you're playing Breath of the Wild and you're climbing a wall or a rock or a surface, your mind is often going to other places, like what kind of gear you're going to use, or how to prepare for a battle, or maybe not even about the game entirely itself, but about something else, maybe like what to have for lunch, or whatever, you know? The Mako kind of serves that same purpose in Mass Effect, where yes, you're discovering this planet and you're, you know, foraging and exploring and trying to uncover anomalies, but you're also just climbing surfaces of rocks and hills, because the Mako is a very versatile vehicle, and you can climb any surface, so you're kind of engaging in the same gameplay loop mechanic, if you will. And what I'm finding about that in general is that it's very nice to have that kind of gameplay in a large RPG or a large exploration-based game, because it not only adds to the sense of exploration and discovery and forging your own path and autonomy, but it also breaks up the pacing between big story beats or important moments, and just kind of lets the player have a moment with themselves and their thoughts about the game beyond having to pay attention to, say, a combat sequence or watch a cutscene. Anyways, that's my thought on the Mako and climbing in Breath of the Wild. I'm gonna try to survive this Thresher Maw attack now. Come at me. The jump jets or the boost jets really help. Oh god, I didn't realize it was a part of the fight. Don't come at me, don't come at me. One thing I'm noticing by attacking the tentacles is that if the Thresher is like right on your tail, taking out a tentacle will actually stop it from moving so fast, and you can get a bit of a head start or some leeway between you and Thresher and not have to worry about it chasing you. I think that's it. We got it. Take that, Thresher Maw. Okay, we're gonna save. I think that makes 3 Thresher Maw fights at this point. I will definitely take the experience points this early on in the game. It's an easy way. Well, I say easy. It's a straightforward way of quick level ups, if you ask me. All right, let's recover this artifact. Let's see what we got here. I think I mentioned it on... Oh, hang on. Turian insignia recovered. There are no signs of any survivors. The pod is empty except for a small, tattered flag marked with the Nimenez colony insignia. Alright. But as you can see on the map, there's a little X... Actually, maybe we can only see in the Mako. Yeah, there's 2 X's. The one that's further away from us marks the Thresher Maw nest. That's an addition to the legendary edition of the game. And it's really helpful too because Mass Effect includes these planets with these giant open areas that look like Thresher Maw nests. And in the original, you kind of had to just tiptoe. It's funny to say tiptoe with the Mako, but you tiptoe your way into one of those areas and hope for the best. One convenient thing about the Mako too is you can see down the bottom left, right above the Y button indication, you see the little wrench with the 62. That is how much Omnigel we currently have. And Omnigel, I don't think I've really talked about too much since starting my playthrough here. But Omnigel is basically a do-it-all item. Well, you know what? Let's quickly check the codex here. Technology. Oh, we might not have Omnigel. Omnitool. No Omnigel. Alright, I'll give you the little breakdown then. It's this gel that kind of has these all-purpose uses where we use Omnigel for healing. And we also use Omnigel for our hacking. Though I think when you heal, it doesn't use Omnigel like it does for hacking. In the actual gameplay of Mass Effect 1, it uses your med kits, how many of those you have. Anyways, there are different difficulty levels of hacking where it'll take like 25 Omnigel or 35. Some of them will take like 100 Omnigel to successfully hack. But it lets you bypass that little Simon Says minigame that actually you're about to see me do right now when we survey this mineral here. This little Simon Says minigame. But the way to get Omnigel is to break down an equipment item. So let's see here. We have Lancer 1. On the right, in the middle, you can see Y Omnigel 4. So if we push Y and say yes to this request, we would then convert this item into 4 Omnigel. So you have options when getting rid of your inventory or sorting through your inventory. You can either sell your items for credits for its value, or you can convert an item into Omnigel, so you can use it for your hacking minigames to bypass the harder, more difficult Simon Says hacking game. We are, or I am, at some point for this stream, going to go through the inventory and make a bunch of Omnigel. So not only can we heal up our... Oh god. Not only can we heal up our Mako if we need to, but we're going to be able to quickly bypass some hacking minigames. Save ourselves some time. I like to get out of the Mako every now and then and take these fights on foot. It's a fun little change of pace. Alright. What do we got here? Crashed probe. Salvage. With all of that said about Omnigel, though, I do exclusively use the long way, or the Simon Says minigame, to hack into things early on in the game, so I can just start to accumulate a wealth of Omnigel. So I can use it in certain quests and kind of just break my own pacing up kind of thing. Make my life easier. We're quickly going to save. I like to save more than once on these uncharted planets because, as you can see, there's lots of open area between each objective, and to have to backtrack between them would not be fun. Here's one of these open areas that I mentioned before that would have looked like a Thresher Maw nest in the original game, but we don't have it marked on our little mini-map in the bottom right, so we can safely travel and not have to worry about getting into a fight. I don't think the Thresher Maw nests are marked on the big map screen though, the one we go to check for the next objective that we mark on our radar. Oh, look at all these little satellites all over the place. There's a bunch of them. Transmitter tower. Deactivate. Discovery. This device is transmitting tight beam signals into geosynchronous orbit. This disrupts the survey team's GPS satellites, causing them to crash nearby. Disable transmitter. Alright, so we solved one problem. That's all the things on our map that we can visibly see. As I mentioned, there are some that aren't marked on the map, and we'll encounter more and more of those as the game goes on. Now onto the main facility, or the research facility, or the main area of this whole area of Trebin, if you will. Whoa! I hope what I mentioned about the climbing in Breath of the Wild relating to or being similar to the kind of thing that you're doing in Mass Effect 1 with the Mako, it gets across more in the later worlds. As the later worlds have fewer and fewer wide open areas and much more jagged peaks and mountainous regions, you kind of have to really know how to traverse and be comfortable with your means of traversal, i.e. the Mako, to kind of do it effectively. Alright, so we got a little research station here. What's going on here, friends? Let's check it out. Got some cryo rounds. Run over to the next one. What do we got? Medical kit. Okay.
According to these data logs, the survey team unearthed some kind of alien technology.
Could be answers at the excavation site.
Good idea, Rex. Let's go check out the excavation site. Alright, let's go.
Just lead the way.
Let's get on to our Mako. Go to the excavation site, which is just over here. Moving out. We're gonna save before going in. And we're gonna make sure we've got the right weapons equipped. Let's see. Let's go 2 shotguns and an assault rifle. Rex and I will take point with our shotguns. See what we see in here. Dark, dank cave. Not creepy at all.
Hostile spotted.
Oh god, all kinds of husks. Look at them go. Let's not let them get too close, so not allow them to discharge their electric ability, because that would suck. Let's see, what else can Rex do for biotics ability? Warp. Actually, you know what? Let's get Rex to have an assault rifle so he has a bit more coverage. He can shoot more frequently. And I'll stick to the shotgun so as to get the damage output kind of maximized here. Oh god, let's heal him up. Let's see if Sabotage will do anything. It feels bad not really having a whole lot of offensive abilities right at this moment. I think I have Throw and Warp is pretty much it. Sabotage. Can we get... Rex is down. Okay.
Rally round.
Fall back, man. Fall back. Oh god. Okay. Let's heal you both. Oh yeah, I have adrenaline rush. I can use adrenaline rush and reactivate my abilities. Let's see, Garrus. You also have adrenaline rush. That's wonderful. Husks are pretty rough in the first game because of that electrical discharge ability that you're seeing them use a lot right there.
I've seen this before. Machine cultists. The survey team must have unearthed some alien technology that turned them into mindless fanatics.
Whatever they found, it's long gone now.
There's a bit of a healing there on my squad. But yeah, as I was saying, Husks are rather difficult in the first game, or they can be difficult and tricky if you're not prepared to deal with them because of that electrical discharge ability that you saw them use. But yeah, so it's starting to look like this survey team or mining team or whoever it is we're looking for might have met an unfortunate fate. Okay. Did some looting. We're gonna quickly save again because we survived. We didn't die. Wonder how much loot we'll find though. There are still 2 doors to open. 2 doors, 1 door, 2 doors. Oh god. Okay.
Hostile contact.
Here we go. Let's activate all of this, or overkill on both of them, so they don't ever overheat. Let's fall back, guys. We gotta fall back. Okay. Now we're back a bit. Actually, let's use overload on someone with a shield. Let's also use a throw on Reckless End. Oh no. I think of some poison damage there. Fall back some more, it seems. Let's see if we can do some more damage with the pistol, maybe. Okay, not too bad. Overheating, okay. Let's use adrenaline burst again and get another marksman in here. Okay, shields down. We need to fall back some more Rex. Gotta keep our distance from these Husks. Just so they don't get that discharge off on us too bad. Oh, that was a close one. Oh god. Okay, shield boost. Let's see here, I gotta throw. Get rid of him. Can't heal, we have no med gel. Alright. We do have Unity though. Let's get Garrus back in the fold. We'll give you a barrier. Oh nice, the game was kind enough to actually spawn Garrus behind me instead of where he actually died. That probably gave us an extra nice little bit of damage. Oh god, okay. Nice, we got them all. That accounts for all of the Exogeny survey team. They were converted to cybernetic husks by devices similar to those used by the Geth on Eden Prime. How they came to be buried on a frontier world so far from Geth territory is a mystery. It's a mystery, is it? Mystery. I wonder if we'll ever find out the mystery. Not staring at this giant piece of questionable technology or anything. Oh, you can hear Shepard's heartbeat. Actually, let's quickly save. This mission always gives me not a run for my money, but kind of challenges me early on in the game because of the real actual challenge, or threat rather, presented by the husks so early on, when your shields may not necessarily be maxed out with like your electronic skill or even your basic armor skills. But even like armor mods, which we haven't really looked at a whole lot, contribute to your shield generation. So there's all kinds of things that you can do to boost your shields and health beyond just leveling up and gaining experience. So when you're dealing with that many enemies on screen, all dealing shield damage and really taking out your health in like 1 or 2 hits, it can be quite tedious to stay alive. You saw how easy Rex and Garrus both were going down, and Rex is supposed to be more of a tank character to be able to support. Oh, did we? Oh no, more of a tank character to support your squad. But with the end of this quest, I mentioned we will then be going on to do the Rogue Lunar VI on the surface of Earth's moon. Okay, ready to leave the Normandy, or leave this planet and go back to the Normandy. And of course, quickly save. I think we can run down very, very quickly to the med bay and resupply our metagel capacity. I think we can do that right now. Here it is. There we go. Some extra metagel. Always a good thing to remember to do before jumping into another quest, especially a potentially tricky one like the one we are about to embark on. And I say tricky just because, again, it's early on in the game and you may not be leveled up a whole bunch, may not be using the best of equipment. Speaking of, we're going to quickly look at our equipment, see what we have. So we have a Stinger level 2, and we've already got level 4 weapons kind of available to us. So we're quickly going to switch to the Edge 4, I think. And yeah, we've got all kinds of better. So armor piercing rounds, 15 damage percent plus to synthetic enemies. We're going to switch that over to the 30 here. We've only got the 1 improved sighting still. We've got a Scimitar 3, but we've got access to level 4 weapons here, and they're all, some of them are much better. Let's see, 180 for damage per second, accuracy rating at 77. Let's use Firestorm 4. And we've got a Hammerhead round 2. Yeah, might as well keep it. And we're going to... What does this armor look like? I was debating on whether or not I should stick to just the Onyx armor, which is the Onyx, not necessarily just level 1 for this playthrough. But considering it's Insanity playthrough, there are significantly better armors. I am going to mix it up and put Shepard in different armors for variety, because why not? And for that extra protection. So you can see here I'm only losing a little bit of tech and biotic protection, but gaining a bunch of shields. So we'll switch over to this new white armor. And we'll keep our shield battery for now. And we're going to switch from a cryo explosive, I did notice we were using that against the husks, to a high explosive level 4. So now Shepard is good to go. I will try my best to keep these inventory management, not necessarily to a minimum, because I know some people do derive joy from watching inventory management, or at least learning about builds or the reasons why someone would use a certain build over another, and especially on a harder difficulty. It's good to know what helps and what doesn't. So I don't want to just omit all of that information and just kind of breeze through it like I'm making it look like it's easy, because it isn't necessarily easy at all times. So yes, we are going to go to the local cluster now. So here is our local cluster. This is what you can sometimes see in our night sky. Isn't it lovely? Beautiful. Travel to another system. Sol, yes. And there is, of course, Mass Effect specific lore for our solar system, but this is it. This is home. We are here. Let's start by looking at Pluto. Pluto is one of Sol's numerous ice dwarf worlds. It is mainly of note for being the gravitational anchor for the Prothean mass relay to Arcturus. Pluto and the Charon relay, formerly encased in ice and considered a moon, orbit each other. Pluto's orbit was circularized in 2157 as a side effect of the Charon mass relay recovery operations. There's even a population on Gateway stations of 9,300 individuals. Pretty interesting stuff. Let's go on over to Saturn. Oh, I love that Saturn image. I've always loved the pale yellow of Saturn next to the dark shadow of its dark side. Oh, beautiful. Saturn has been a major source of helium-3 fuel for fusion plants since the 2150s. The moon of Titan is mined for hydrocarbons and used as a hostile environment training facility for Alliance Marines. I'm not entirely sure if Ashley has mentioned it yet. She might have, actually, in the last stream when we spoke to her last, about reaching down on Titan and being one of the first humans to do so. She was specifically referring to one of Saturn's moons, Titan. Jupiter now. Oh, I want to see the picture. Let's get that picture loaded up. Come on, game. There we go. Jupiter's deep gravity well and lethal radiation have kept its moons from being significantly exploited. The largest outpost is Binary Helix Corporation's Nautilus facility attached to the underside of Europa's ice sheet. We're going to go over to Neptune now. Though Neptune, like Uranus, has plentiful helium, its remoteness made it an unpromising target for mining before development of Mass Effect drive. With Uranus cheaper to exploit, it has never seen extensive development. The only permanent human presence is a small research facility on Triton. Over here to Uranus. After the development of Mass Effect FTL drive, distant Uranus was the target of a land rush to exploit its combination of plentiful helium-3 fuel and shallow, for a gas giant, gravity well. Today, Uranus is the largest producer of HE3 in Alliance space. Of course it is. A little bit of a joke there, I think. Mars. Ooh, look at that beautiful Mars horizon. Love the Mass Effect art for Mars. The concept art is just so inspiring. Once considered a prospect for terraforming and colonization, the discovery of faster-than-light travel turned Mars into a quiet backwater. Its southern pole is a historical preserve centered on the Prothean ruins found there. Immigration and development are restricted as the search for Prothean artifacts continues. We'll go over now to Venus. With its molten temperatures, sulfuric acid clouds, and crushing carbon dioxide atmosphere, Venus has only a handful of aerostat research outposts. Oh yeah? Well, what about Mercury? A handful of solar power stations exist on peaks of eternal light at the north and south poles of Mercury. The difficulties imposed by the planet's proximity to the Sun and high orbital velocity have limited development. And of course, Earth. For detailed information, please refer to the standard issue Alliance Galactic Codex. Earth orbit is riddled with debris generated by bootstrap space development. Use of kinetic barriers is recommended at altitudes over 85 kilometers. So, in this day and age, or in the Mass Effect era, there is a population of 11.4 billion humans, or just individuals on Earth. There could be, who knows, Asari, Turians, Solarians living there, why not? And Luna. An early source of helium-3, Luna is now mined for materials used in space habitat construction. 24 major stations have been constructed at Earth's L4 and L5 Lagrange points, all from lunar resources. And we are landing on the moon. Ooh, okay. For this mission, it really helps to bring tech experts like Tally and Garrus. It seems a little odd to leave the humans behind, like Kaidan and Ashley. Although Kaidan does have some tech abilities, we are going to be fighting drones more than anything, so aerial drones, not ground enemies. So Tally's AI hacking will actually come in handy quite a bit in terms of distracting enemies, much like you would do or use biotics for kind of taking an enemy out of the picture. We'll quickly look over here at Tally's skill tree to see what we can do to improve our chances. 1, 2, 3. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. That should be it. All right. Let's save. And we'll check the map, and we'll go to our debris location first. There's actually an in-lore Easter egg with the surface of the moon here, and if I hear it, I'll point it out and explain it. Yeah, here it is. This is the surface of the moon. There is Earth, glorious, and in the background, the blue marble. One thing that Mass Effect really kind of drove home, the first one in particular, is the sense of like discovery and exploration, because you got to go somewhere familiar like the moon. Like, you know, anyone that dreams of space at one point considered the moon and the surface of the moon and lauded over that picture of the blue marble, you know, at some point in their time imagining about space travel. And it's just wonderful to have it incorporated into the game, because you really, I don't know, it just drives the point home more than anything else I think they could have made up on their own. Let's salvage the CCP Luna 23. Got some loot, and we're gonna go up this hill. I think in the Legendary Edition they might have, I don't know if they've increased the size of the shape of the Earth, but I remember it being much more present when you went up the hill and you kind of crested over the top, that the Earth was then in your eyesight rather than it just being always visible. Don't hear the Easter egg. Oh well. We'll just move on. We'll go over here where the lunar base is. It's already shooting rockets at us. As I mentioned, I think in a previous episode, the experience penalty for taking enemies out in the Mako has been removed, which is very nice for sections like this, because you would have had to get out and take out each turret outside of the Mako, which, if you can see this turret right here, you would have done something like this. And then got back in, drove away, just to get your extra experience. But now, you can do it all in the Mako and not worry. And one more to go, or 2 more turrets, 1 more base. Ooh, got ourselves a level up. So, we have 3 of these bases to go into, and we are going to start with this one after we give ourselves a quick save. And because we did level up, we are going to assign some more skill points. because it's always good to have a bit more survivability in this area. So we'll increase Garrus's assault rifle damage, and I think we're going to increase Tally's basic armor, so advanced shield boost is available to her. I'm quickly going to look at weapons here. Yes, cool. We have tungsten rounds for Tally, so she can do more damage to synthetics. And we also want to get a better pistol equipped here, so we have a better damage output. Okay, we already did Garrus before, so we'll do another quick little save here. I think I save a little too much, but you know, it's never bad to have good save hygiene. More saves, the better. Alright, so this is the first bit of our base, our lunar base. Every single one of these entry rooms, so there's 3 of them, will have 2 unlockable crates. So that's another opportunity to grab experience. And if you are wondering why I'm hacking everything, it's just mainly for the experience points. Yeah, yes, the loot is nice, but you also get loot almost on every single kill you get. So you're not really hard up on loot. Oh, that was equipment. That was armor. Ooh. Yeah, we're switching to this cool red armor. Hell yeah. Mercenary 4 armor. That's okay. The Mercenary armor is what I pretty much played the entirety of my off-stream playthrough with. It wasn't Mercenary 4, but it was the Mercenary armor. I am quite a fan of the red armor. Okay, so here is our first bit of combat. I'm going to save again. Good save hygiene. Let's go. Alright, trick with this place. I always fall back. Fall back, guys. Fall back. So immediately we're going to want Garrus's shield boost back up. And we're going to want these enemies coming to us. Between overload, take out shields, and sabotage to make sure they can't shoot at us. If they get bottlenecked into this hallway, we can take them out without too much worry about them actually doing damage to us. So we'll get Tally to use the pistol just so she has a bit more damage per second. Okay, cool. Took out most of them. I think that might be all of them, actually. Alright, so that's pretty much the method of how I handled the drones in standard mode. It's way too easy on the casual difficulties to need to do that. But if you can bottleneck them into the hallway, and then between sabotage and overload, disable them from attacking you and ruin their shields, you can pretty much do this without too much worry. Alert! Toxic gas is being leaked into the bunker. Okay, so every single base that we come to... Here, let's heal up first. And shoot this other one down. Is going to have 8 of these nodes we have to destroy. So there was 4 on this side, and there's going to be 4 on this side. And each base we go to, when we start destroying a conduit, a new obstacle will present itself. So the very first obstacle here is that there's a toxic gas now in the air of this place. Oh, do we already have access to the data port? Oh, okay, no. It's just a codex. Okay, no worries. The lights on the optical mainframes flicker and die. The first of the 3 computing clusters containing the VI is offline. So there goes number 1. And I'll wait and save until we get out into the Mako. It's areas like these where the running comes in handy, when you don't have to be in combat to initiate a sprint. I think I mentioned on one of the Citadel episodes where, you know, I wasn't going to sprint the entire way through because I wanted to take in the sights. It's less so with these areas because they are reused rooms. Like, we've seen this room before and those hallways before. And especially we just ran through it once, so we're just backtracking. Might as well just run through. Alright, building number 2. We can't save for some reason. Maybe it's because the weapons are out. There we go. Okay. Sometimes all you gotta do to save is holster your weapon. Because I think the game registers as being in combat at times when you're actually not in combat. Oh, override failed. Try that again. One thing actually I did notice that is different in the Legendary Edition compared to the regular version. Oh, look at that. Another mercenary armor. Heavy armor this time. As I was saying, one thing that's different is when you fail a hacking minigame and you still have Omnigel on you, you can retry as many times as you want. In the original, you were presented with manual hacking and using Omnigel. If you first tried the manual way and failed, you no longer had access to the manual means of unlocking that object. You had to then resort to using Omnigel if you had Omnigel. And if you didn't have Omnigel, well then you just couldn't unlock the thing. You were shit out of luck. Alright, we got some more enemies. Overload and sabotage, but we'll also fall back. Tally, fall back. Bring them here. Bring them here. Come on, where are you? There they are. Overload. And we'll use a sabotage so they can stop hurting Garrus. There we go.
Fire in the hole.
Alright, so they got Garrus. It's not terrible, we can heal him. But we do need to use sabotage so they stop hurting us. Alright, there we go. Oh nice, we still have 6 metagels, so I can full heal and not worry about it too much. I think that might be it for the enemies in this room. Not as smooth as the last room, though I do think the enemy types increase with difficulty each room you complete. That's no excuse, mind you. Wasn't on my sabotage game as good as I was the first room. Irregardless, here we are, our next 8 VI conduits that we must destroy. Alert! Kinetic barrier fields powering up throughout the bunker complex. So now we've met our second obstacle. These barrier shield things. And they have spawned in front of every conduit, as you can see. But they also spawn in front of every single door. It's a little annoying, just because of the gunshots. But what can you do? After all, this is a VI trying to protect itself. The rogue Lunar VI. The second of the 3 computing clusters containing the VI is offline. Oh, cool. We have a little shooting animation that we stopped on there. That's kind of neat. Alright, so the second of the 3 units has come offline, leaving us with 1 more to deal with. And that will be the final one. So there's actually a major gameplay reason that I enjoy doing this quest at this stage in the game. I like to do it before embarking on either Pharos or Noveria. I like to do it before getting into too many side quests. And we're about to find out why after I finish this last bunker here. So there we go, saving on the surface of Luna. Into our final room. Oh! Forgot about the shields. And we've got to find our 2 containers, because there's always 2. Okay, there's 1, and our second one is just right here. What do we got here? Light armor for the Turian, and another medium armor assassin. Let's quickly take a look at that Turian armor. Ooh, increases our damage, shield, and tech all a bunch. I think it might be camo. Yeah, it's digital desert camo for Garrus. Isn't that funny? Alright, whatever. I've decided that it doesn't matter. Oh god. Okay, see, now they're already piling up at the entrance here. So, let's get ready. We'll use sabotage and overload. And we should get a dampening in here. And another overload. And we'll use another sabotage just in case one runs out. The benefits of tech abilities cannot be overstated in Mass Effect 1. Being able to overheat any weapon in the game is fundamentally to your benefit. And I think that's why so many characters have access to the sabotage ability. Because like, even if you take, like say me, a character who has more bio abilities than not, and you take, say, Rex, the only other way you're going to get no sabotage or tech abilities, really, is if you take Liara with you, and even then she has overload. Alert! Additional security drones are powering up. So the final obstacle or wave of defense that the VI throws at you is inserting enemies into the last area. And I think it is kind of clever that the developers made the second obstacle the shields, because then you don't get overwhelmed immediately here in this third obstacle when enemies all of a sudden spawn, because they're behind that blue shield and they can't come and get you. So you're protected and safe to keep exploring and exploding, rather, the remaining conduits in the room. Alright, but we've got to deal with these enemies now. So just like last time, overload, sabotage. And then we'll use another overload and a dampening. Oh, nothing happened that time. And this is it, I think. Two more to go. Alright, a burst of white noise over all frequencies nearly deafens you. Your hard suit's heads-up display interprets it into a series of zeros and ones. Not going to read the binary. They repeat again and again, blanketing all frequencies until the lights on the final VI cluster flicker and die. And here it is, specialization class achieved. Your specialization class will replace your base class in the talents on the squad screen. Talent ranks in your base class transfer over to your specialization class. Go to your squad screen to view the bonuses you gain with each rank in the specialization class. So we also get to pick our specialization. This, without saying too much more, becomes a core feature in the Mass Effect abilities, like mechanics or gameplay. It gets expanded upon in Mass Effect 2. And then much further expanded upon in Mass Effect 3. That is why I like coming here early, to be able to not only increase our player ability or our abilities, but to gain the specialization and kind of round out the character a lot more. So when you do the next story bits, I find this like a good jumping point into, say, Act 2, if you will, if you want to headcanon this as Act 2. So we have two to pick from, Shock Trooper and Nemesis. Shock Trooper, highly trained killing machines. Shock Troopers excel in all combat situations. So it increases our health, it increases our damage protection, it improves the immunity and barrier ability, and improves the adrenaline ability. So immunity grants us the... I think it completely makes us impervious to health damage, and then barrier does the same for our shield/barrier. And then adrenaline is the one that resets all of our abilities back to fully charged so we can use them again. Nemesis, on the other hand, the Nemesis is a biotic specialist who uses Mass Effect fields to inflict heavy damage against opponents. So it increases the duration and damage for all biotic abilities, it improves warp, and it improves lift. So, with the Vanguard, which is what we are, I like to go with Shock Trooper, if not only because lift and warp are good on their own right, but Liara is an insanely talented biotics specialist. So if you need any kind of biotic compensation, you can use her. Whereas having the base ability, or having increased health and damage protection, and increasing your base abilities like immunity, barrier, and adrenaline, which will come in handy in nearly every combat situation, is much more beneficial than just improving your biotic abilities, almost creating a redundancy of yourself in your squad. So this just makes you more viable, especially on an insanity difficulty. So we're going to go Shock Trooper. And as the game mentioned, we have to go into our squad screen to find the specialization. So now it's down here under barrier. It's Shock Trooper instead of Vanguard, and it has completely unlocked the tree for us and has added benefits along the way. So one of them being barrier specialization and the other being adrenaline burst specialization. So we're going to dump some points into our Spectre training, because it's good to have Spectre training maxed early on, because it increases your damage and duration of all powers, increases your health and your max accuracy. So we're going to dump points into Spectre training and the rest into Shock Trooper, which is just 1 point, but hey, that's enough. And of course, we're going to save and move on to our next quest. So we're going to quickly run out of here. Use another metagel so we don't meet a deadly demise by neurotoxin. And yeah, we're just backtracking out of this lunar base now to get back to our Mako so we can reboard the Normandy. That is the end of the Rogue Lunar VI quest. It has unlocked our specialization that will benefit us tenfold going forward. Let's go check in with Admiral Hackett now. Oh, maybe Hackett doesn't, Oh yeah, okay, maybe Hackett doesn't actually say anything. No, he does not. Okay. Alright, so we have the Asari writing collection quest active now. We did find one of the Matriarch's writings, but we do have a few more side quests to do, and we have plenty of time to get to them. So we have the unusual readings. While on the Citadel, you uncovered an Alliance Patrol report. One of the patrols mentioned some strange activity in the Hydra system of the Argos Rogue cluster. So that's where we would go for that one. We also have Strange Transmission. You discovered a strange transmission discussing some sort of biotic commune. On the whole, it seems harmless, but something about the message is a little disturbing. And then we have these two, which are already waiting for us to complete. And then we also have Asari Diplomacy. You've received a cryptic message from Nasana Dantius, an Asari ambassador on the Citadel. She wants to meet you in person. We are actually going to do the unusual readings mission here, so we have to go to the Hydra system in the Argos Rogue cluster. So we will quickly save. I do have this massive note that plans out our entire path from start to end for Mass Effect 1 here. And we have done, let's see, 1, 2, 3 or 4 of the major side quests I would like to do right now. But we still have a couple more to complete, this one being one of them. So let us go to the Argos Rho cluster, leaving our local cluster behind. So we've got Gemini Sigma there, Argos Rho, right past Noveria. So we've got the Hydra system, and we have the Phoenix system. We're not going to the Phoenix system just yet, so let's travel to the Hydra system. Okay, this is the planet we'll be landing on, so we'll take a look at everything else first. What do we have here? Siba. Siba is a standard Neptune-type gas giant. The upper cloud decks of its hydrogen-helium atmosphere tinted a dramatic blue by traces of methane. Survey, we found a concentration of helium-3. See what else we can see. Thyar. Thyar is a large gas giant with traces of chlorine and sodium in its atmosphere. It also has a significant amount of water vapor in the clouds of its upper atmosphere. Thyar was struck by an asteroid at least 12 kilometers in diameter within the last 100 years. The superheating caused by the impactor's atmospheric passage created a large bank of vicious storms along the equatorial band. We'll take a look at Varmalus, or Varmalus. Has a thick atmosphere of nitrogen and helium. Its surface is scorching hot and mainly composed of alumina with deposits of borax. The planet has an extensive network of subterranean caves formed over the millennia by volcanic processes. In these relatively cool areas, some primitive life has developed. And Canrum. Canrum, funny enough, was actually in one of the original revealed promos, trailers for Mass Effect way back. Was some dramatic choice that Shepard had to make between going to Noveria or Canrum, and then not choosing Canrum resulted in like the people dying there or something like that. And then the tagline of the game was before you lies many decisions, not all of them easy, or something dramatic like that. That's why I remember Canrum. But Canrum is a small, rocky world with a trace atmosphere of methane and krypton. Its surface is mainly composed of magnesium and silicates with deposits of carbon. Canrum was the site of the warlord Shiager's defeat by Turian peacekeeping forces during the Krogan rebellions. While this band was not especially powerful, Shiager was a female warlord, and one of the few remaining Furdoff females at that. She had, through viciousness and cunning, parlayed her unique value into a position of power. Krogan males competed for the right to join her band and lie with her. When Shiager's death was announced, vengeful male Krogan admirers near and far swore blood oaths against the participating Turian crews. In the end, several thousand of the Turian participants were killed in open combat or through assassination. To this day, many Krogan proudly proclaim that they have the blood of Shiager. And surveying Canrum shows a Turian insignia recovered. Scans of the planet Canrum revealed dangerous levels of radiation coming from orbit. Chief Engineer Adams conducted further scans and discovered the remains of an ancient warhead marked with the Parthia colony insignia. And I think that brings us to Metgos.
Patching it through.
General distress call. The Sacred Angel medical transport. Critical system failure. Losing power. Emergency landing. Argos. Communications failing. Life support. Emergency transponder. Won't last. Please hurry.
Warning, level 2 heat hazard. Metgos is a large terrestrial planet with an atmosphere of carbon dioxide and nitrogen. Its hot surface is mainly composed of nickel, with deposits of potassium and heavy metals. It is a mineralogical treasure trove, with concentrated heavy elements constantly being brought to the surface by volcanic activity. Metgos is inhospitable and dangerous, and expeditions must be well prepared to survive any length of time with its high mass, heat-trapping clouds, and constant volcanic venting. Metgos seems well on its way to becoming a Venetian pressure cooker world. And we are landing on this pressure cooker world. So we've taken Garrus on a couple missions, we've taken Tali and Caden and Liar. We've taken almost everyone this time. Let's bring Ashley along just to even out the squad, make sure everyone's had a fair share in the sun. Rex even took a visit to the mining facility so we could deal with those husks. I think Ashley and Garrus. Let's do that. Ashley and Garrus. Both of them can use snipers if we need snipers. Both of them can use assault rifles if we need assault rifles. We got a good variety here. No, oh yeah, I'm biotic, so I can use some biotic. Yeah, it's a good mix here. All right, we'll save. As you can see, it's good to have a good mix of tech, soldier abilities, and biotic abilities when you're making your squad. So we've got the transponder signal over there on the bottom, we've got an anomaly on the top, and we've got debris kind of to the left. Let's go, of course, to the anomaly first, see what we can see, find some experience points at the very least, so we can get some more skill points to spend in various places. That's the big thing here. This is an RPG. You want experience, you want to get some skill points. Those are the reasons why you're kind of compelled to explore. It's not just the fun of the gameplay and the learning of the lore, it's also to build your character, be the best shepherd you can be. So this is one of those worlds that I had mentioned just recently about needing to be a little more vigilant about how and where it is you're climbing, on what surface, because it's not just all flat open areas that you can freely traverse without any worry. We've got a Turian corpse here that we're going to examine. Let's see, what do we got? Turian insignia recovered. While searching the wreckage, you found a very old letter stamped with the Gothis colony insignia. Unfortunately, the text is undecipherable. Of course it is. So you can see that a level 2 heat hazard, or level 2 hazard in general, on the bottom right of our screen, we've got that little bar filling up, and it's filling up very fast. That is because we are at level 2. Warning. I think level 2 is the highest hazard level that Mass Effect 2 throws at you. I don't think there's a level 3. Oh no. Flipping the Mako. Oh god, oh god. I do like how a lot of the rock is almost purple in its hue. I don't think the Mako has been flat for more than like 3 seconds at a time on Metgos so far. I mean, there are flatter areas I could be driving on, sure. Let's kind of do that. But I hope you can see what I mean now about the climbing everywhere kind of thing. Like, you're just able to hit almost any surface. Oh, big old pit. Let's not fall in that. Another one right there. Oh god. Okay. Okay. Oh, of course. The debris we need is inside that giant pit. Okay. We got this. Woo! Thank goodness for jump jets. Alright, let's explore and see what this crash probe has for us. Probably some random loot. Oh, bypass failed. My bad. Okay. Shutter rounds, kinetic buffer. We'll deal with all that later. When it comes to the entire squad being re-outfitted... Oh, this is not going to work. Alright, hang on. When it comes to the entire squad being re-outfitted with weapons and gear and armor mods and everything. I will largely do that off stream, as I think I mentioned in a previous episode. Just not to bog down too much screen time with the technical and going through each squad member individually, because it can take a considerable amount of time. In the vehicle bay of the Normandy, there is the squad lockers, where you can go to each squad off of a mission and equip them all right there. So I'll probably do that at some point before stream and make sure everyone's equipped and ready to go, all their skill points assigned and stuff like that. But I will, of course, show some of it, because like I mentioned, it's an RPG and it's good to share the knowledge on how to survive the harder difficulties. And sometimes, you know, who knows, maybe someone's playing this game for their first time and they don't know why Liara's bullets are green and Caden's are blue or something, and they're not sure what that means necessarily in terms of gameplay. You can see on our map, yeah, we're surviving, okay. See on our map we've got some minerals to go survey. They're right up here. Right around the corner, somewhere. Blending in with the volcanic rock. Mineral surveyed. What do we got? Thorium. Okay, and we are going to save. And this is where our main objective is leading us. Let's see what's here.
Careful. I've got a bad feeling about this. It's a trap.
Oh no! Not another Star Wars reference. Take out these Geth. It is fun to get on foot sometimes. Take them out this way. Of course, when your squad starts dying, it's always good to get back into the Mako. When the rocket drones come out, you know things are getting serious. Wow, point blank and I missed with the rocket. Alright, let's go take out the rest of these Geth. Run over this armature. See ya, buddy. I don't know if you've noticed by now, but my method for taking anything out is just drive in circles. Or run it over, like that, you know, that's fun too. I think there's one more Geth. Yeah, there he is. Journal was updated. And it was... signal tracking? No, distress call. Yes, this one. Our very first mission we ever found. So this would have been the one in Anderson's quarters when we first got control on the Citadel, and we hacked the little computer off to the right. So the distress call from the downed medship turned out to be a trap set by the Geth. Fortunately, you were able to survive the ambush. So a bit of a Geth ambush. We can just leave now. That's the end of that quest. It was a Geth trap. They lured us there all the way from the Citadel. They were trying to get anyone to come by that they could take out. So that leaves us with strange transmission, I do believe, because I do not yet want to do Asari diplomacy. I think strange transmission would be our best bet, because I think we've already done strange transmission. Yeah, okay. Unusual readings, though. Let's see here. Okay. I think we're good. We'll do strange transmission. We have to go to the Centauri system and the Hawking Eta cluster and investigate the strange biotic commune that's there. Okay, I think I just saved, but hey, practice that good save hygiene. Spread the word. zoom out, leave Argos Rho, and we need now go to the Hawking Eta cluster. Way up here, near the Terminus systems. Actually, I'll show you quickly. The Terminus systems are way up here. This section of the Milky Way that we don't have access to. Centauri. Let's go to the Centauri system.
Message coming in, Commander. Big surprise. The Alliance needs you again.
Shepard, this is Admiral Hackett with Alliance Command. We've got a mission for you. An Alliance officer named Major Kyle has set up a small compound in the Hawking Eta cluster. He's attracted a number of followers, mostly biotics. He's become an outspoken critic of the Alliance, and we believe he's mentally unstable. This could be trouble, Shepard.
What kind of proof do you have that the Major is dangerous?
3 days ago, we sent 2 Alliance representatives to meet with him at his compound. They've disappeared. We believe Kyle and his followers killed them. That compound is a cult, Shepard. They call him Father Kyle now. He set himself up as some kind of religious leader.
This is one of those really early side quests that kind of shows off the different branches a Mass Effect side quest could go. Like, you know, you might think at first that there's a Paragon Renegade neutral option for a lot of things, and largely that is how things work. There's also nuanced things that can be altered and changed, and this is one of those quests that has a few different alternatives based on how you approach it. So let's ask about the missing Alliance officers here.
What were those Alliance representatives going to talk to Major Kyle about?
They wanted to bring him back to an Alliance facility for treatment. Major Kyle served us faithfully for many years. We weren't going to abandon him. Given his state of mind, however, he probably saw them as a threat. We're almost certain he had his followers killed him.
Okay, we will now ask about the followers.
You said his followers were biotics?
Yes. Major Kyle never showed any biotic tendencies himself, though. I think he's just latched onto a group he identifies with. Many biotics feel marginalized or ostracized by society. Kyle probably sees them as victims who need his protection, and they see him as someone who will fight for them. Unfortunately, he's convinced them that the Alliance is somehow responsible for all their problems. We can't let him go on like this.
And what about Major Kyle?
He used to be a model soldier, but something happened to him at Torfin. Too many Alliance soldiers died under his command. Couldn't cope with the guilt. His psych evaluations showed he couldn't handle the stress of command anymore. He was given an honorable discharge in early retirement. We'd hoped he would get better in time, but we underestimated how far gone he was. Now it looks like it's too late.
So I like to take the Paragon approach in this mission. I just like the results the most, so we'll see if we can do that this time.
You might be able to end this without violence.
You serve with him. He might listen to you. But he's already killed 2 Alliance representatives. I trust you to use your judgment. Hack it out.
Shepard having served with Major Kyle, I do believe, is dependent on Shepard's backstory that you get to create at the start of the game. But of course, we're going to quickly check the solar system here. We've got a metallic asteroid. Found a heavy metal. While scanning this asteroid field in the Hawking Eta cluster, you detected a large deposit of palladium. Of course we did. Let's go to Canctra, a terrestrial world of average size. Canctra's atmosphere is composed of nitrogen and argon. Its frozen surface is mainly composed of tin with deposits of calcium. Aside from some spectacular formations of water ice at the poles, the planet has little to recommend it. Survey. We've got a light metal surveyed. We found some cobalt. So we'll go and check out the next planet. Thorupto is a typical hydrogen-helium gas giant with traces of chlorine and sulfur in its atmosphere. It has over 100 moons and an extensive ring system composed of pulverized rock, presumably the debris of shattered moons. So surveying Thorupto, medallion recovered. While scanning the planet Thorupto, you discovered a tiny moon with some odd readings. Further scans by Chief Engineer Adams revealed a destroyed escape pod. Your salvage team recovered the components and found a League of One medallion. So we're making good progress on those League of One medallions already. I think there's 10 medallions and 3 ID tags to find. Let's see here. Tamahera has a thin atmosphere of carbon dioxide and xenon. The surface is icy and composed of sodium oxide with deposits of calcium. It contains a few unremarkable metals, but mainly consists of rock. The presence of canyons and floodplains indicates that liquid water once existed, suggesting Tamahera had a thicker, insulating atmosphere in the past. Interesting. What else do we got? We've got the planet Klendagon. Klendagon is an arid terrestrial, slightly larger than Earth, but with a lower density, that reflects its relative lack of heavier elements. The crust is composed of tin and aluminum, with wide deserts of dust-lined sand that are easily stirred by the wind. Klendagon's most striking feature is, of course, the Great Rift Valley that stretches across the southern hemisphere. What is most fascinating about the rift is that it does not appear to be natural. The geological record suggests it is the result of a glancing blow by a mass accelerator round of unimaginable destructive power. This occurred some 37 million years ago. Interesting fact about the feature that he just talked about, the giant rift valley. The actual thing that you're going to be seeing on the planet Klendagon from the surface of Pressrop here is a feature that you can see on the planet Mars. So it's actually a detail of Mars that they've taken and appropriated to the planet Klendagon. You can see in actually the picture right there that the big markings on the planet, which we'll see in better detail when we land, is what I'm talking about here. So Pressrop is the moon of Klendagon. It is a frigid, barren world with an extremely thin atmosphere of carbon dioxide and ethane. The crust contains plentiful deposits of heavy metals. The Alliance has opened bidding for the moon's mineral rights, but exploration will be complicated by the system's proximity to the 5 kiloparsec ring around the galactic core. The ring is an area of intense star formation and too dangerous to safely travel. Pressrop's landscape is a nightmare of jagged overlapping ridges and geological shock zones created by some ancient disaster. This has not deterred a generation of illegal wildcat miners from attempting to exploit the moon's mineral riches. Unfortunately, many have lost their lives. It gives you a bit of background on Pressrop and the kind of, people and companies that are here and why they're here. For the Major Kyle mission, let's bring Caden Alenko again. Why not? Give some love to Caden Alenko. I don't see much love for him online, or anywhere for that matter. We'll do Caden Alenko. And let's do Rex. Rex is a fun character to bring along. So ideally, I would like to get this mission and one more done before we end the stream. We are closing in on time, but I'm going to try my best here. We'll quickly check the squad. Actually, you know what? It might not be necessary right now. We'll check it next time, or in a minute. We will check our map. We've got the biotic compound down here to the bottom left, and an anomaly and some debris that we'll check out first. However, there is an X on our map that we're going to take a look at first. Hopefully it's not a Thresher Maw. I don't think Pressrop has a Thresher Maw on it, so I think... Oh, you know what? I just lied. Pressrop does indeed have a Thresher Maw on it. This is a giant open area with a little X in it. This is going to be a Thresher battle, making it our 4th, I believe, at this point. Yeah, here we go. So I actually did do a bit of reading on the Thresher Maws. I think it was the first time we encountered them that I mentioned I wasn't going to go into the Codex and explain how it is... Oh, actually, might have been the second time. How it is that Thresher Maws are on different planets in the Mass Effect game. It's pluralized. And it has to do with the way they breed. So Thresher Maws breed by spores, in much a way that you would expect a plant to breed. So, you know, in the springtime, spores get caught in the wind and they go to vast and different places than they had originally been or the original plan was. And it's the same deal with threshers, where a thresher maw will lay its egg, its spore, and it will attach itself to spaceships or spacesuits, or I'm not entirely sure how big the spore itself is. That is how they get around to different planets, by traveling with or on the ships of spacefaring species. And of course, as we learn with Mass Effect, there is an entire civilization of spacefaring species that has existed longer than the entire recorded history of humanity. So that's plenty of time for a thresher maw, or thresher maws rather, to have dispersed on multiple planets by the time that we show up here in Mass Effect 1. So we almost just got eaten there by our thresher friend. Come on, thresher maw. Bring it on. Oh, more tentacles. There was a really good shot. You could actually see the thresher maw slow down after I had taken out both of those tentacles there. Ooh, quick Yui. Nice. Okay, we did it. Should make him spawn here any second. Haha, we got him. And we leveled up while we were at it. So that makes Thresher Maw number 4, I think. I think that's number 4. I don't actually know. For all my times I've played the Mass Effect trilogy, I don't know exactly how many Thresher Maws there are in the first game. I know there are quite a bit, and I do know that the ones that we have encountered so far, and will likely encounter not too far from now, so in the majority, or sorry, the start of the game, are the majority of the ones you will encounter in the entirety of your playthrough. So I'm going to quickly take a little detour here from our marked location, because there seems to be an anomaly that's not on our major map, but on our radar. We'll scale this wall. Actually, another good example of the climbing everything gameplay mechanic that I had drawn comparisons to with Zelda and Mass Effect would be Skyrim. And I'll explain that after I read this. Discovery. This cluster of prefab utility shacks has a distinctively ramshackle look to them. A set of rover tracks lead away over the mountain ridge to the southwest. But yeah, I'm sure anyone who has played Skyrim knows that one of the most fun things to do is to not follow the beaten path, or to follow a road for that matter, and just jank up the side of a mountainside and make your own path, and then when you get to the location that you intended to get to, you realize, oh, the road was there next to me the whole time. It's the same thing with the Mako. It's just taking that concept and making it more of a gameplay mechanic, rather than feeling like you're breaking something or exploiting something, like you experience more in Skyrim than you would in like Zelda's Breath of the Wild. And I think the Mako is kind of a happy medium in between those two things specifically, because where Skyrim feels like you're janking and Breath of the Wild feels very, very deliberate in every action you take, the Mako almost feels like a mixture of the two, where you need to be extremely deliberate, but at times you feel like you're in this car that's janking up the side of a mountain and you're like, oh, I shouldn't be able to do this, but it's a video game. So there's Klendagon. That's the striking Rift Valley that was not naturally made. It was created by a mass accelerator weapon. Remember that for the future. But yeah, that's also a feature on Mars. They just took that distinct rift and blew it into a bigger image and then plopped it onto Klendagon. Funny thing is, we'll actually even see that feature on another planet later on in the game. So although they have a codex entry about Klendagon and have... Oh god, woohoo! And having that distinct feature, it's still not necessarily distinct in the grand scheme of the Mass Effect universe. Down here, a wrecked mining vehicle. Some rocks. What do we got? Discovery. The front of the rover is crumpled in from impact. A glance inside tells you the occupants, probably a team of illegal wildcat miners, mentioned in the planet description, are dead. Debris is still sliding down the furrows left by its tires, silent in the near vacuum atmosphere. That would be an eerie sight. So that would be the... Oh, I think we missed something here. Yeah, we did miss something. That would be the Alliance survey team that Admiral Hackett mentioned. Or the mining team, rather. It'd be their ship, or their vehicle. Turian insignia recovered. Digging under the beacon revealed a piece of scrap metal, likely from a very old freighter. It was marked on one side with the Macedon outpost insignia. That's another Turian outpost insignia we found. Let's quickly check to see how many we have. 5 out of 13, so almost half of them. That warrants a good save. And I don't need to jump into the map because we can see the debris that we're going to hack into just up over this hill here. Oh god, right into another one. Ooh, that jump worked out real nice. Oh, let's turn around. I hope you can see what I mean now in terms of you're driving this vehicle and you're getting into situations you don't think you shouldn't be in. Don't think you should be in. Alright, this is our crashed probe that we're gonna loot. Bypass successful. We got some more ammo. Or ammo types, ammo mods, I should say. Biotic compound is our next destination. I have not seen any minerals to loot yet, though I do remember there one being near the compound, so we will get at least some minerals. So I see an area we can go up right here. Kind of get a little carried away with the boosters, I think. Ooh, I think I can make it up this one. Yeah, right on. Okay, and then it's flat all the way to the compound. One thing I like doing is jumping and then immediately boosting when you hit the ground. That one wasn't the greatest example, but like this and then going... feels good. Alright, there's our biotic compound. And this is one of the ways that you could approach it differently. You can do a couple different things here, and we're going to do one specifically after we mine this mineral deposit, or survey it rather. It might be gold deposit here that we found. Yes, a deposit of gold. Alright. Got some credits. And we're gonna go into this little side area first. Get the med kits. And then we'll save. It's always good to save. And then we'll ring the doorbell.
This is a private sanctuary. Outsiders are not welcome here.
Again, approach this different ways. Let's just ask to see Major Kyle.
I need to talk to the man in charge. It's important.
Father Kyle wants nothing more to do with the Alliance.
We're here to
I want
help.
this to end peacefully. If he doesn't see me, people could get hurt.
We won't let you take Father Kyle away. He protects us. We need him.
We're taking the Paragon route here. Like I said, we're going to lean Paragon for Mass Effect 1.
The Alliance wants someone to pay for those murders. Let me speak to Major Kyle, and maybe I can find some way to help you all get out of this alive.
Wait. Father Kyle will speak with you. Head to the building at the far end of the compound. He'll meet you there.
Alright, to the building at the far end of the compound. We're going to drive, because screw walking. Don't have to worry about global warming on a moon without an atmosphere. We'll use our Mako. And here are the biotic cultists just walking around. Now, had we taken the renegade or more aggressive route, you can see they're all holding weapons. Mind you, holding the weapon kind of funny. They're all holding weapons, and they would have all been hostile had we been also hostile. That's not how we roll. Ooh, Shepard doing a little dance move there, trying to take the corner. There is some stuff to hack and loot here. Now this method does, I don't know if it grants you less experience points, because as you know or should know, taking out an enemy grants you experience points. I wonder if there's a container over here. Let's quickly check. No container. Okay. But yeah, we're not going to kill these people, even if that grants us experience points, because at the end of the day, we're going to get something more valuable, and that is our Paragon points. We got a Technician kit here. Technician kits are cool, because sometimes, more often than not, they'll have Omni tools, or they'll have biotic amps that really kind of add to your tech and biotic abilities. So here we go, into this room.
I am Major Kyle. I know why you've come. We have no quarrel with you. Why can't you just leave us alone?
What happened to those other Alliance officers? The ones who came before me?
They wanted to take me away from here. They wanted me to abandon this place, turn my back on my family. They spoke blasphemy. I did what I could to make their end quick and painless. I had no other choice. It was necessary to protect my children. Only I can keep them safe.
The Alliance sent me to bring you in, Major. Can't you see this has gotten out of hand? Don't you understand you are endangering your followers?
I respect that you have come under a banner of peace, but I cannot do as you ask. If you take away their father, my children will be helpless.
Oh, lovely. We have enough Paragon points and charm investment to actually pull this off the Paragon route. So we're going to go say you can't help them now.
You ordered your followers to kill those Alliance investigators. You must face the consequences of your actions. Do you really want your children to suffer for your sins too?
No. This was my fault. My children are innocent. Pure. Please. I never meant for this to happen. I'm sorry.
You're doing the right thing, Major. Your children will be better off for it. Come on.
Wait. If my children see you taking me away, they won't understand. They will attack, and you will be forced to kill them all. You have shown me the error of my ways, Commander. Now you must give me time to explain it to them. It is the only way they will understand. Please, give me 1 hour. After that, I will meet the Alliance authorities at the gates of my compound and surrender without violence. I give you my word.
So we're going to believe Major Kyle at his word, and we're going to see how that pays off. Roll the dice here. I believe you.
If you betray that trust, you and all your children will suffer.
I will not betray you, Commander. Thank you for this.
Joker can have the 5th Fleet pick Major Kyle up. I just hope you know what you're doing, Commander.
Okay. You should return to the Normandy and notify the Alliance of Kyle's surrender. They'll want to dispatch a ship to take him into custody. So that is what we are going to do then. We're going to go back to the Normandy and let the Alliance know that Major Kyle is good to go for pickup. Okay, we've pretty much reached my usual time for an episode of, well, really anything that I stream. However, with the Mass Effect Legendary series, I'm willing to go over time for the sake of pacing and consistency between episodes. So that means, although we are pretty much here on our usual time, I have one more side mission I would like to do before ending this episode, so that when we resume next time, the episode doesn't start off kind of doing that side quest and then going into what I had hoped to be doing at that point, we will just jump into the next kind of chunk of logical gameplay, or the next step after the side quest, because we have one more side quest to do, and then for me personally, I like to do the next thing. It's the next chapter, if you will. So like side quests wave 1 is complete, and we'll go move on to the next thing after that, and I will of course let you know what that is next episode. But for now, we of course are going to let Admiral Hackett know about Major Kyle, but we are going to go and do the Asari diplomacy mission. So we're going to go back to the... Oh! Never mind. We did the last mission that I had hoped to do. So I guess this is time. All that preamble for nothing. My bad. That is pretty much the end of the side quest that I had hoped to achieve, and it happened to be perfectly on time, so I guess all of that still stands. Everything that I mentioned still applies, and we will do that, like extend an episode if need be for the sake of pacing in terms of side quests. But we have completed the Missing Brother quest, we did the Biotic Terrorist quest, we did the Distressed Call that wound up being a trap, we did the Missing Survey Team that wound up being husks, we did the Rogue Lunar VI, and then we also did the Major Kyle quest, and that is pretty much where I want to wrap up those side quests at that point, before moving on to the next bit of content. But before we end this episode, let us report back to Admiral Hackett.
Message coming in. Patching it through.
Admiral Hackett here, Commander. Your helmsman just forwarded your report on Major Kyle. We sent in a team as you instructed. Kyle's followers have disbanded, and the Major surrendered to us without incident. We'll make sure he gets the help he needs. To be honest, Shepard, I thought this thing was going to end in a bloodbath. I don't know how you did it, but you saved a lot of lives. Congratulations.
And with that, of course, we will be ending this episode. I know I just teased extending it for another quest. However, that is not going to be the case, as I did in fact finish the side quests I had hoped to finish by this point. However, our next episode, we will be kicking off by talking to our squad. We have a lot of conversations to have. Each one has something new to say at this point. Some of them will maybe even add quests to our assignment log. But after that, we will then be returning to the Citadel to turn in some of our quests we have previously completed, like the Missing Brother and the Kahoku quest. But we also have to inquire further about Armiston Baines, for example. Admiral Kahoku was the last person we were told to go speak to about Baines, if we would like to learn more. And then after the Citadel, we will be moving on to our very next main quest, being Theros. But that is still a little ways away. Hopefully, well, not hopefully, we will be getting to it this week. But not today. However, that is it from me. Hope you are doing well. Hope you have a wonderful rest of your day. Goodbye.